Bugs Bunny for the Atari 2600, which is a proper title for it because the other Atari 2600 game we played was just called Taz. And you might be wondering, but Culprit, you're playing these games in chronological order of release. Why the hell are you playing an Atari 2600 game now? Because this game was released in 2002. Now, this game was developed in 1983, same year as Taz. It was supposed to be part of Atari's children's series. And it was shelved in favor of Snoopy and the Red Baron. Right, I don't know if because of Taz or if it was a unrelated decision. Why wouldn't they just release both anyway? Because it's not like they cared about the quality of the games they were releasing. No one was like, no, if you release too many games, you're gonna crash the market. Yeah, be late for that. But they didn't release this game so they could release Snoopy. You do recall Snoopy and the Red Baron? Was it good? Because I don't remember that game. I played a truckload of Atari games. I might have played that one, I don't remember. Because most of my Atari 2600 gameplay was back in the 80s. Hello there, Icy Bonobo. So this was eventually released in 2002. It resurfaced. Nerf! Guns, violence. Yeah, it's very classic Bugs Bunny art. You wouldn't have that on a modern game, that's for sure. Because of guns. Guns are evil and shit. Now, this was released in 2002 as an unreleased prototype. Resurfaced and everything. Right, we're gonna have another game coming up later for the Commodore 64, which has a similar story. But yeah, this is not, again, this is 2002, but this is not a retro-styled, modern developed game for old systems. This was developed in 1983. We're playing it now because we're playing the games when they were released, not when they were made. Line break ruined your guys. I have 3 chats open, it only shows up on one of them. It's set up differently from the other ones, whatever. Let's take a look at the back of the box. This didn't come out with a box, but they did make the art for it. So let's take a look. What's up, Doc? Trademark. Stop, look out, Elmer! You're gonna hurt someone with that old shotgun. What's up, Doc? Bugs Bunny is only looking for some tasty carrots to eat. That wascally wabbit. Elmer Fudd would rather make Bugs Bunny stew. Be very, very quiet. Elmer is hunting rabbits. The object of the game is to pick carrots while avoiding the shotgun blast from one Mr. Elmer Fudd. Elmer may not be the shrewdest hunter, but he's certainly persistent. 3 shots from Elmer's gun, and that's all, folks. You score points when you successfully dive into your hole. When all 3 levels are complete, the next round begins with Elmer and his bullets moving faster. There is a 2-player game where a second player can control Elmer, which sounds like fun. For 1 or 2 players, use of the Atari 2600 or 7800 series systems, requires controller, unreleased prototype. Winners don't use drugs. And it's infinite levels, it just keeps getting faster, standard fare for the Atari 2600. We're gonna play it for like 10 minutes maybe, and move out. The 83 crash fascinates you. It's interesting, because it's something that I only heard of decades later, and it's something that Americans think it matters a lot. It wasn't the video game crash of 83, it was the American video game crash of 83. Everywhere else in the world no one cared, everywhere else they were just trudging along. Europe was doing fine with their computers, Japan was doing fine with their computers and their consoles. It was exclusively a United States thing. because of the way the retail market worked over there and the way Atari did shit over there. So when people go like, oh, Nintendo saved the video games, no, they brought back a market that was gonna come back anyway because it only paused in the United States. Really just an Atari deal. Yeah, of course Nintendo did do their homework. They marketed their console as not being a video game. It was an entertainment system. It was a boring gray box that was front loaded like a VCR. All of that was like very specifically done so they could get shelf space on shops that were wary of carrying those kind of goods. Neat propaganda, yeah. Heroes, Asia, they had their PCs. Down here in Brazil, it was irrelevant. We were out of everything because of the military dictatorship at the time. Like, we started getting NES clones at the end of the 80s. Like, I was still playing the Atari 2600 in the early 90s because it's what we had. So the crash didn't mean anything to me. I wasn't even born, I don't think. E.T. playthrough. That game, if you know how it works, it's playable, it's beatable. It's not horrible, it's horrible in the context, I guess. And the mechanics are kind of broken because it was rushed to meet the movie. There's like a ROM hack that fixes most of the shit, I think. I'm still surprised to this day that I figured out most of Indiana Jones and the... It was just called Dark Raiders, I think. That Indiana Jones game on the 2600 is an amazing exercise of how to make a game that actually follows the movie pretty closely and has an inventory system so complicated it requires 2 controllers to play. And I managed to, without a manual, without anyone knowing how the game was supposed to be played around me, I did like 60 or 70% of the game. Again, I was a kid, I didn't have anything better to do with my time. That game is unscrutable. Tandy, yeah, here we had the Dynavision as an NES clone. Never even seen an Atari. Yeah, I saw the 2600 and I saw an Odyssey. And then came the NES clones and the Master System. Alright. So we're here, Bugs Bunny, Atari 2600, 2002, game number 83. It was released, it was developed in 83. Which is fine. Timer is reset. And I can move this over and I can start it. Ow. My ears. It's piercing. I gotta say, that's a rendition of the song that is way better than half the games on this retrospective. Small round of applause. It shouldn't have been that hard. Let me adjust the volume here. Hang on. Again, I want to hear that again. Seriously, this is better than half the games on the Genesis. That Elmer, that animation of him going to the hole is fantastic as well. Better music in every test game combined. It's way better music than test for the Game Gear, that's for sure. Yeah, the animation is pretty good. Okay. Yeah, that animation is pretty good. How do I want to go up. There's only one button. How do I go up? You go into the hole. Don't I have to get the carrots? Okay, hang on. Oh, you choose on which level to come out of. Oh. Okay, so I'm starting here. I go here, wait for Elmer Fudd, so it's a safe spot for me. And now I choose over here. Jesus! Okay, I'm starting on the top one because that's the hardest one. The gameplay is very basic. How? Well, we got the carrot there, even if we died. The top one is impossible. Okay, we did one stage, and then the game loops. This might be fun, 2 players. Okay. And now he's moving faster. It's impossible to do the top one! It's so violent, yeah. The top one is impossible. The top one is impossible. Okay, it was because it wasn't released. They maybe required some balancing for the top one. It's fine. I mean, the animations are very good. The graphics are decent for Atari. It sounds okay. It controls fine. The animations, yeah, I already talked about the animations. What happened there? I think this is more interesting than... I think this is undeniably better. It has a title screen. I think it's undeniably better than a TAS for the 2600. But then again, it's TAS, so... I actually like this graphic. This game is kind of charming. I just don't know how to survive the top one. The top one is... I didn't even start the timer. There we go. But it feels like luck of where you start and where he is. The animation of jumping to the hole is so many frames. And when you fail, he bounces a little bit. Ooh. There we go. You have to get used to the distance so you jump at the right time. Yeah, you have to get on the first one. Holy shit! He's just spitting fire. Holy crap. And he just keeps getting killed. Alright, stop the timer, that's all the game. we did win a few rounds and then it loops and gets harder. It's fine. It was more than 1 minute. Just barely. 1 minute GG. It was more if I forgot to start the timer. Stop start. Speedrun. Yeah, I'm gonna rank this game higher than TAS. In part because it is better, in part to speed TAS. Spite TAS. Or is TAS for the 2600? Violence. Very violent game, yes. I like how TAS is just called TAS. Narf! Narf! And... where is it? Oh, it's really low. Okay, this is better than that. It's better than Buster Saves the Day. Yeah, okay. It's not that good, but it's better than Buster Says That Day. Pure gaming. Yeah, it's very distilled. It's very specialized. Within the context of the Atari 2600 and the context that it was just a prototype and it wasn't finished, I think this game, just on account of animations and fluidity, it does deserve one thumbs up. And that also accounts for the 2-player mode, which is probably fun to spend some time with. And I'm gonna call this shit with potential.